The English language is alive and well, and apparently under new management by teenagers. Terms like 6-7 sound like math problems, but somehow they mean something completely different. Welcome back to Bargain Brand Wellness. Tonight we're breaking down the new slang the kids are throwing around, why it makes adults feel like tourists in their own language, and how wellness probably isn't hiding in Riz or Skibbity. But we'll try anyway. Because here, self-care is always on clearance, healing isn't sold separately, and personal growth shouldn't require a subscription. Welcome to Wellness. Welcome back, my wellness warriors, my self-care connoisseurs, my students of wellness, my off-brand VIPs. Hope you're all having a great and wonderful weekend thus far. Depending on where you're watching from, might have been a little bit of a rainy one, a little bit of a wet one, but hopefully it's still been good nonetheless. We're excited to have you back. This is Bargain Brand Wellness, your one-stop shop for everything wellness, because that's what we do. We talk about anything and everything wellness related. You can find us live on the TalkTick app at Off-Brand Tim. You can find us live on the YT, the red platform, at Bargain Brand Wellness. And we are also live on Facebook. You can join our Bargain Brand Wellness Facebook group over there. No request needed, no application required. Just join, have fun, check out the community guidelines. But we're pretty friendly over here. We have a grand old time. We're live 3 days a week. We typically go live every Monday and Wednesday, and then either Fridays or Saturdays, kind of depending on my family schedule. Got some fun announcements that we're going to dive into today. Some new stuff. For our fans, I know that, or for our regular watchers, our regular viewers, I know we had mentioned that we were planning on having a guest this evening, but unfortunately my guest kind of bailed on me. Kind of had a feeling that was going to happen, so we were ready to shift as we needed. But our After Dark episodes are those where we will, in future episodes, have guests on. So, looking to kind of liven that, open that up a little bit. I'll be eventually here in the very near future, kind of working on a, if you want to call it a pseudo application. It's not really an application. It's just basically any of our members who decide that they want to join the stream. They, can fill out this form, kind of let us know that you're interested, who you are, what's your contact information, and if there's any specifics you're interested in discussing. So, yeah, looking forward to getting into that. While we're waiting, we're going to get into some streaming and some music, some background music. While we're live, give you some in the background to listen to. As you can see, the title of today's episode is, what the heck are the kids saying nowadays? Any parents, grandparents, aunts, or uncles, I'm sure you struggle just as much as I do to keep up with the sayings, but I'm doing my best to start to embrace them a little bit. It's a struggle, I won't lie, but it's interesting the new things they come up with every day. And the funny thing is we really hate on the things that kids are saying nowadays, but if you think really back to your generation, to your time, what funky things did your generation say? If you're watching us live on here, throw a comment there in the chat, or if you're watching this at a later time, throw a comment. What was kind of the lingo of your generation, right? Are you part of this Gen Alpha with the Skibbities, the Rhythmatics, the 6-7? Were you part of the Gen Z generation? I have no idea what they were saying. Or were you part of the millennial generation? The first one that kind of comes to my head is the what up? That's kind of the first one that comes to me. So feel free to throw a comment there in the chat if you do. This is our first month back. We're almost a full month back now. We came back on September 1st after taking a nice little hiatus, nice little breather over the summer. We're back and we're having a good old time. We're excited. We're excited for growth. We're excited to see where we can kind of grow over the course of the rest of this year. As I mentioned before, we have some announcements which I'm going to be making here just here in a little bit. Give some of our Wellness Warrior crew a chance to jump on, if anybody's able to jump on. Hopefully they are. I see people kind of popping in just momentarily over there on TikTok. Feel free to hang out with us for a little bit. Hey, you never know what you might learn. We are kind of new format. We also kind of do some games over here that we play. We have a good time with them. Brain games, mind games, things like that. Things you've probably seen online, things you've probably seen on social media. We're not a gaming channel, but we do that to kind of make it a little bit more interactive. And I will say some of the games we do play, some of these word games, can be a little bit difficult. My fans, my viewers have definitely been big help in helping us solve these a few times. So before we get into our first game, I think we're going to start with kind of the newest lingo, the newest slang, which is this whole 6-7, right? And you say it with like a little bit of a question, like kind of 6-7. No one really seems to know exactly what it means. Even the kids don't seem to know what it means. I'm curious a year from now what they're going to be saying. And honestly, the reason I decided to kind of have a conversation on this tonight is we were talking about it earlier, and just that no one really seems to know exactly what it means. But what I heard recently from my little ones is that they are actually not allowed to say it in school now. 6-7. They're not allowed to say it. They will get in trouble. They will get their recess taken from them. And listen, kids can be annoying. We all, anybody who has kids, nieces, nephews, grandkids, whatever, they can be. And let me take that back. Annoying isn't the word I'm looking for. Obnoxious at times. Right? They're children, right? They're children. And coming from someone who also had some assumptions, not that long ago, just a couple years ago, about some of the things that kids engage in, I was just like that. I was like, oh no, that's stupid. You don't do that. That's dumb, right? That's what idiots do, or some, you know what I mean? Like those kind of judgments. My big one was, and my assumptions was the trend where kids were pointing to their veins kind of like this, which was basically supposed to mean like ice in your veins, like you're coming in clutch, which, okay, I get it. For me, and you all tell me did you also assume that it meant something else? I saw this and I immediately thought drugs. That's immediately where I went to. I'm gonna be 1,000% honest. I don't think that's where it came from. I don't know for sure. Knowing the generation, it could have easily came from a song. It very easily could have came from, more than likely kind of came from some sort of influencer. I could see maybe an athlete doing that. In fact, we'll check it out here a little bit. We do live reactions to a lot of stuff on here, but just so we can kind of see. But yeah, so where did it come from? And so the same thing, like I said, goes with 6-7. Where did it come from? So I do have a short video we're gonna watch. Well, there's a couple different videos. I have not watched any of these, right? I watch all these in real time with you all. We'll see if we can kind of see what this means. Let's switch over here a little bit.
Welcome to Quick Explained. Seeing 6-7 online and scratching your head? Let's decode this slang term. TikTok trend. 6-7 has also gained popularity on TikTok, often connected to the drill rap song Doot Doot by Skrilla. Some believe it nods to 67th Street in Chicago. It's often used in edits and memes, especially ones featuring basketball player LaMelo Ball. Hugs and kisses. 6-7 can also be a stand-in for hugs and kisses, like XOXO. Think of it as a quick way to send some love, so you might text a friend good luck on your test. 6-7. Hiding your number. One common use of asterisk 6-7 is to block your phone number when making a call. Dialing asterisk 6-7 before a phone number hides your caller ID so the person you're calling won't see your number. It's like a secret agent move for your phone.
I forgot about that.
Conclusion. Whether it's phone privacy, a TikTok reference, or a sweet sign-off, 6-7 has a few tricks up its sleeve. Now you're fluent in 6-7. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for
So just based off, we'll watch one more, just to see if we can kind of get an idea. No one really seems to know exactly what it means. I had heard about the song by Skrilla. I do not know the song. I've never listened to Skrilla, but supposedly that's where it came from. And then I see the LaMelo Ball reference. We'll watch that one as well. I'd listen to the music, but you know, if you've ever watched live content or recorded content, it's funny how, and this is what I've never understood, you can show a video, right? I can show a video. I'm not claiming it as my own. I will link the descriptions for all my videos, as I always have in the description of my stream. But you can't play a music or music video. I've never quite understood the whole way the copyright piece. I'm not claiming the music to be my own. I'm not looking at recording it or kind of, you know, getting free music. I never quite understood that part. But so we can't listen to the song, unfortunately. I can listen to some rap music. I don't think Skrilla is probably my vibe, so to speak. I could be wrong. But unfortunately we won't. So if you're curious, feel free to check out Skrilla's Doot Doot 6-7 official music video. Could be. We'll watch, let's see, this one has 240,000. This one has 291. Let's check out this one. It talks about LaMelo Ball.
What time was that?
Around like 6.
Around 6-7.
What do the numbers 6-7, the basketball player LaMelo Ball, and the rapper Skrilla have in common? Well, they're all involved in this latest TikTok trend.
6-7.
On December 1st, 2024, Skrilla released the song Doot Doot with a music video on YouTube. At one point in the song, Skrilla says 6-7 in reference to 67th Street in Chicago.
I know way that foot, I know he died. 6-7.
The same day, TikToker Matvi Grindblatt posted a video of someone giving commentary on NBA player LaMelo Ball's game, discussing his height in reference to how he plays. Once the commentator says his actual height, which happens to be 6'7", the Skrilla song begins playing alongside a compilation of footage of the basketball player.
He literally moves like somebody that's 6'1", 6'2", except he's 6'7".
I just bit right on the highway.
The video gained over 9.6 million views in 2 months. Throughout January 2025, the song was further popularized on TikTok and Instagram Reels through a variety of videos, including edits and lip dubs. More and more creators started making content using the song, referring to Ball and the consecutive numbers 6-7. For example, on
Now here's the funny thing. This isn't new, right? You know how sometimes trends take a while to get, especially a small area where I come from. This video itself is 7 months old. I just recently heard this whole 6-7 trend, but that's how slow it is sometimes. Sometimes it gets around pretty fast, but other times it can get around pretty slow.
January 7th, Instagram user Atlas Productions posted a reel in which 6-7 is shouted during a stand-up show, followed by a transition to the song playing over LaMelo Ball footage. The reel garnered over 2.6 million views in 3 weeks. As these spread, creators would start referring to the song more in the context of their own lives, lip-dubbing to it as they encounter the numbers 6 and 7 in random ways. On January 26th, TikToker AG Trippin posted a video compiling several clips of people making 6-7 jokes, garnering over 4.8 million views in a week.
The things that we do to make popular nowadays. I mean, would you have thought a year ago something like this would be a a popular thing. It come from a song which may have been a popular song. I don't know. And then, you know, reference to LaMelo Ball, who I don't watch the NBA, but I've heard the name. I know he's a decent ball player, heck of a ball handler. You know, just kind of a, just kind of a menace on the court. You know, gets reference to his height, and then all of a sudden, bam, viral, 6'7". Then you throw it in every conversation. You know, I did that to one of my young ones earlier. They were asking how many tackles he had in the game. He goes, I don't know, 4, maybe 3. And out of nowhere I go, I don't know. It looked like 6 or 7. The funniest part is when you as an adult try to join in with the kids on these little viral trends, you get the eye rolls. Hey, we're trying to be accepting, right? It's like they don't want you to accept, they want you to hate on them. But hey, I digress. So those 2 videos will be linked in the description. So yeah. Let's go ahead and get into our first Wordle. Our first game that we're gonna play. We have a few games we like to play on here. Our first one, which is Wordle. Wordles usually aren't too difficult. I've ran into a couple where we struggled a little bit, but for the most part, they haven't been too bad. And as we always, you know, encourage our viewers here in chat to join in with us, especially as we get into some of these later games. All right, so we tried our standard kind of hack strategy. We'll call it our standard strategy, where we start off with Stair Cloud and Pinky. The reason we start off with those is because those 3 words get all 5 vowels and a Y out the way, as well as most of your popular consonants. So only leaving you with you like 10 letters left, 3 of which are the Q, Z, and X, which are rarely used, that and J. So we got TRI is in here, and none of them are in the right place. Now you can get double letters on here. My first thought was when I saw this was TRI. TRI. I almost thought TRIBE, but we already got rid of the B. Now, like I said, we can have double letters, so it could be something K. My first thought was like, oh, no, the C's out of the way. It could have been trick, but the C's gone. C's gone. We have BMH. Could be TH. THI. We already got the N and the K gone. R and D are already gone, but we do have an R, but the R is not there, so the R doesn't go there. Is there? I'm trying to think. Is there a word that goes THRI blank? Thrim, thrib, thrig. Could even be something like is Wraith a word? No. I see wrist, but the S is already gone. Wrist. I don't know. This is one of those where sometimes you might just have to make a guess. We had 3 guesses left before we're kind of done on this one. This one's a little bit harder. Like I said, a lot of these aren't usually that hard. I can usually get them pretty quickly, but I have had a couple where it's a little bit of a struggle. I won't lie. I won't lie. I definitely want to move that TR and I around to try. I really want to do TRI something, but Triff. And like I said, there could be 2 T's, there could be 2 R's. I doubt there's 2 I's. I thought maybe birth, but it doesn't go there. Honestly, I mean, that's not... you're right that the I's not in the right place, but that's not a bad guess. It moves the R and the T and uses up the B and the H. So it's not a bad guess. And honestly, it's no better or no worse or no better than anything else. But let's rock birth and see if we get anything in the right place. Okay, so we got the T in the right place. We know there's no B and there's no H. So the R is not going to go behind the T. What else could go behind that T that's available other than another I? I'm thinking R, I, T, I, because what else could go behind the T? We just got eliminated the H. Q, W, F, G, J, M, V, X, no. W-R-I-T. Yeah. I was thinking Rith earlier, but that's not even a word. I tried it. Grit. Yeah. I like the G. I mean, I could be wrong on the R and the I. Let's be honest. Well, the R is either the second letter or it's the first letter. And we know it, but it has to be the second because the I doesn't go here. And there's no other letter that could go I-T. You know, like I said, it would have to be I again. So I agree. I think it's something R-I-T. And it would really have to be I. I hope this isn't one of those where it's a word that's not really a word or not a very commonly known word. Because that's really going to be messed up. But there's no word up here that throws off to me, hey, this is that word. Wait a minute. No, I was almost thinking there is a word that ends in R, but that's martyr, and that's got too many letters. That's M-A-R-T-Y-R. But there's no words that I know of that end in T-R. This has probably been one of our most difficult ones. I definitely have a feeling it's going to be a word that I've never heard of. Unless I'm just having one of those days. It definitely feels like it's going to be F, W, G, M, or F. I'm eliminating Q. I'm eliminating Z. I'm eliminating X. And I'm almost eliminating V and J. So we already know the R moved. We got the T in the right place. We've tried the I. Here's one we didn't try. Could it start with an I? It's not common, but could it start with an I? It's possible. But then what the heck is the rest of the word? I blank. I blank. RT blank. I'm still saying it has to end in an I. I don't know what word that is. Thanks for the likes over there on TikTok. We're over here playing our first Wordle. We're having our try. This has been our most difficult Wordle. we tried our common strategy of Stare Cloud and Pinky, and it showed us that we had 3 letters, but we're struggling to find the rest of this. I think we're gonna have to just rip another word, but I mean, honestly, it has to be a word, or else it won't even let you do it. So let's do this one. Gritty. It's not a word. Gritty. I know that's not a word. I mean, what else? I mean, let me ask you this. Am I wrong? Is there, out of all the letters that are still available, is there anything that, you know, I don't see another word or another letter here that can go after that T other than I. I do not know any words that end TR. TW, no. TG, TF, TM. I see a bunch of people joining over there on TikTok. Feel free to throw a comment in there. Fritz. We can try it. Actually, I mean, that honestly, that might be it. It sounds familiar. I know Ritz, like Ritz Cracker. Fritz. I've heard that as a name. I guess it could be. I never thought about T. That moves everything around, keeps the T in the right place. I mean, honestly, actually, you might have got it, because I really couldn't think of any other words that ended. Fritz. That was it. Good job, Ashley Booer, with the word Fritz. I have no clue what it means. Let's bring in our AI assistant, Nova. Nova, we just finished our first Wordle challenge of the evening, and the word was Fritz. Fritz. We didn't even know that was a word. Do you mind giving us a definition for that one?
Absolutely. Frict is basically just a less common form of the word frictive, which relates to friction or something causing friction.
Hold on. It was Fritz. Fritz, as in zebra.
Ah, got it. Fritz with a Z. That makes a lot more sense. Fritz is just a fun way of saying something's on the fritz, like it's malfunctioning or acting up. So congrats on solving that one.
Now, this is one of those what the heck moments. Is that actually a real word, or is that just like one of those words that people use? Like, is Fritz in the dictionary?
Yep, it's definitely legit. Fritz is a real word you'll find in the dictionary. It's basically slang that got accepted into common usage. When something is on the fritz, it just means it's out of order or not working properly. So you're absolutely using a real recognized word there.
All right, thanks, Nova. All right, so future reference, my Wellness Warrior crew. Apparently, Wordle uses slang words too. It's not always just gonna be regular words. So Fritz is up there. That's funny. Who would have known? Not me. Not me. All right, so that's our first Wordle. That's our first game for the evening. Happy Saturday. Glad to have you all back. We're over here having fun. As I mentioned, we kind of got into the topic of kids slang nowadays. We're going to look at some other stuff here shortly. But first, I wanted to make a public service announcement, if you want to call it that. As I mentioned before, earlier this week, we finally figured out how to kind of achieve our funds that we get on TikTok. We are, with having 2,000 followers on TikTok, we are able to receive gifts over there, and we actually are technically monetized over there. I was crunching the numbers, and as of right now, we've made $9.80 over there on TikTok. And I'm laughing. It's just funny. It's not very much, but I do appreciate the love. I appreciate the gifts. Keep throwing those in there. Funny, your topic is slang and the word was slang. Yeah, I know, right? It's like, It was like it was meant to be. Which, considering the fact that that wasn't even necessarily today's topic, my guest who was supposed to join me decided not to. So we had to kind of shift gears last minute, but that's all right. Twig XL, thanks for liking the live. Up to 200 likes over there on TikTok already. So our other announcement. So anyway, so we are officially monetized on TikTok. I don't know. I'm really trying not to say the names of platforms because we're streaming on 2, technically 3 platforms, and apparently they don't like it when you mention each one. Can't y'all just get along, right? Multi-streaming is a thing. A lot of streamers do it. Anyway, we created and I don't know much about it. I just created it, so we'll be adding stuff to it. But we have officially created a Patreon. Now, for those of you who don't know what Patreon is basically a subscription service to our channel. Okay? So I'll tell you what. Here's what we'll do. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out. I'm new to Patreon myself. I'm trying to figure out the best place to go. I guess we might just be able to go to our library, or maybe we just drop the link. I was trying to find the best place to do this. So anyway, basically Patreon is a subscription service to where it'll have free membership. You can kind of join us over there. We can kind of link our lives over there. We can kind of talk to each other over there. We can link our Discord over there. If you're not familiar with Discord, we can kind of talk about that at another time. I'm not really using that too much right now. That's more for my guests when we bring them on. But you can also pay to have a subscription, and it usually comes in different tiers. You have your tier 1 subscription, tier 2, and tier 3, which get higher in price that you can utilize, and then they will give you additional perks. And we'll kind of talk a little bit about some of the perks that we're working on as we kind of go through. But let me give me 1 second. Let me drop the link for you all if you want to join. There's the Patreon link. We're not requiring anybody to join. We're obviously asking people to join, obviously. 1 minute. I'm trying to post. There we go. Trying to post in TikTok. There we go. All right. So if you click on that link, it'll take you to our Patreon page. Like I said, I don't know much about it. I'm going to kind of mess with it a little bit and see what we can kind of come up with. But please feel free to go over there and, become a member, even if it's just the free membership for now. As we kind of get going, I'm working on some different things to really get people engaged in our content. We have a good time over here, and we don't do this for the money, and I know I've said that a bunch of times to people, but being monetized, getting money from this will allow us to do this more and have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, feel free to click on the Patreon, jump over there, join, even if it's just a free membership. If you decide you want to pay for a membership, I appreciate the love. I know there's a way to kind of link it to the channels as well. We'll figure that out as we're going through. I will tell you that the services and stuff like that, those are kind of built on a monthly a monthly subscription base. So I can kind of give you the prices if you're interested. Tier 1 is $5. Tier 2 is $10. Tier 3 is $20. And I know monthly that might seem like a lot for some people. How much money is each like? What? How much am I going to pay you, or how much do I get? No. It's kind of interesting the way the whole Patreon thing works. We're still trying to trying to figure all that stuff. Like I said, I'm new to it. I'm gonna really research it over the next week or so. Kind of learn a little bit more about that. We don't get money for likes over here, but we do appreciate all those likes. I see y'all got us up to almost 1,000 likes over there. I think we actually just hit 1,000. Appreciate that love. Appreciate that support. Feel free to share the live, subscribe or follow. Right, but definitely tell your friends, tell your family, tell your worst enemy. They might even like it. Actually, I see some gifts coming in from you. Thank you for those gifts. Once again, I don't really know the exchange rate for all those. You know, but I saw a goat. I saw a you're awesome. I saw a heart puff. I saw all kinds of different things come in. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. You're awesome. Definitely enjoy the love. One of the perks, the current perks that we're working on, we don't have it up today, but I will have it up for our Monday stream. We're going to be introducing to our show something called the Wheel of Wellness. And the Wheel of Wellness is basically a wheel that'll have different things on it that our Patreons will get access to. Since we're small, since we're starting off, all of our paid Patreons will get one spin of the Wheel of Wellness per stream. Obviously, if we ever get to a super large numbers, we would never be able to maintain that. That would just be too. We would just spend the whole stream just spinning the wheel and not doing anything else. So yeah, so we're starting off with all Patreons will get one spin. And the spin is more just kind of ways to help you all engage with the content, similar to how we do with the games. The Wheel of Wellness, I can kind of look up here. Some of it it's just goofy stuff, like me dancing for a few seconds, if that's what you land on for your spin. Singing karaoke for 30 seconds. I even have one where Nova roasts me. Or Nova and I do a roast battle. And obviously, from my Wellness Warrior, my fans who've been joining us, and from my Patreons, we'll also be taking suggestions as we kind of build this out. Just trying to find a way to make it more engaging. And obviously, with higher level tiers, you get more perks. Kind of what we're building on. Tier 1 is the Wellness Warrior tier. Tier 2 is the Self-Care Connoisseur, which gets all the same perks as Tier 1. But also gets to add a custom slot to the Wheel of Wellness where they get to pick if they have in mind a challenge that they want to kind of throw into the Wheel of Wellness. And if you land on it, there it is. And then Tier 3 is the Off-Brand VIP, which gets all of that, as well as something else we are introducing. Starting on tonight's stream, we will be announcing the Wellness Warrior of the Day. For every stream, anybody who's on here, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's random. You know, I will be picking out of our fans our Wellness Warrior of the Day. Based off of a couple things. Based off of how interactive you are in the chat with us, how much you're talking with us, your participation in the games we're playing. You know, I was going to kind of make gifts part of that, but that's not really fair to any people who are on YouTube. We're not monetized on YouTube, so you know, Ashley over here is over and stuff like, wait a minute, I can't give you gifts. I know you would if you could, right? How many likes? Likes is part of it too. I can pull up. Yeah, I'm still kind of learning the whole TikTok live thing, but I can pull up my top viewers. Maybe. If it'll let me. I have to pull it. I don't know why it's acting funky right now. But yeah, likes is part of it. The person, you know, people who give me the most likes also kind of throw up in there. But even that's kind of different because I know, like with YouTube, you can only like the video once. It's unlike TikTok where you can keep clicking. So the Wellness Warrior of the Day, what is it? For right now, it is just an honorary title. But it's something because it's my way of showing you all that I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. That's why I'm trying to come up with some different things to kind of make this more interactive. I know we all enjoy the games we've been playing together. I enjoy them too. I love interacting with them. You guys have been a huge help in helping me complete some of these. Can I get back to back? You can. I will try to switch it up here and there, but absolutely you can. And if you do become a tier 3 member, you get an automatic Wellness Warrior of the Day nomination just because you're a tier 3 once a month. So let's say there's a stream where maybe you're not able to get on, or you're only on for a couple minutes. Because you're a tier 3, that might be an episode where you earn Wellness Warrior of the Day. We'll see. So I know those are very low level perks. We'll be adding more to that. This is just all new. This is something I've just been working on over the last couple days on top of everything else. I did want to announce that I'm excited for it. I hope you are too. Definitely more information to come, but please share with others. Let people know we are on Patreon, and let's see if we can kind of start building that up. And like I said, I'll be adding more and more to that as we're going. So awesome. So yeah, we're up to 2.7 thousand likes over on TikTok, whatever you want to call it. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Appreciate the gifts, Ashley. Once again, we're before we get into our next game of connections real quick, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the slang, right? I know some of you might have kind of came in kind of towards the end of our conversation. And I know a lot of you have young ones in your lives. Some of the stuff that kids are saying nowadays. So 6'7" is the new one, right? That's new, and that's the funniest one to me. But thinking even not so long ago, a year ago, skibbity toilet. You skibbity toilet Rizzler. You've got no aura. That's cap. Here's another one for you. Ohio. Ohio supposedly means bad. No idea where that comes from. No idea whatsoever. As my little one's over here going 6'7". And I don't know if you all heard what I had mentioned, but I found out talking to my little ones today that the 6'7" thing has kind of even been banned in their schools now. That if, in elementary school, if they say 6'7", they will get their recess taken away. Yes, you can say hi real quick. Hurry up.
Hi.
Say hi to our fans. All right. Well, you're my biggest fan. You should join the Patreon then. Yeah. So we just think back to some of the stuff that these kids are saying nowadays, and I know a lot of us kind of hate on it. But we did some goofy stuff when we were little too. Right? I know I mentioned this earlier. My generation, it was the "what up" phase. Whatever was a big word of my generation. I remember it also being like, if you say whatever one more time, whatever. Jake says, I got that skibbity toilet Ohio rig. No cap, bro. That's the vibe. We hate on kids for this, but let's bring the wellness lens into it. What is the purpose? Why do we, when we're children, do this? Part of adolescence is developing an identity. This language is them developing their identity just as we did, right? And even today as adults, we do little things. We back up? I think our live went out for a minute, but I think we're back. OBS reconnection successful. Are we? There we go. Yeah, we're back. Our internet went out for a second. What was I saying? Oh, I was one of those who was very, very judgmental of it. But the more I started thinking about it, I give credit to these kids. You know, there's always some new dance move, like the gritty. I remember when the gritty first happened. I'm good. I don't know. I just got it. It was just, maybe it was just my computer then for a second. But the gritty or the floss, when these first came out, I just remember all these different dance moves, and these kids just run around dancing. You know what? Hey, go you. Way to have the courage to do that, because until I had the shifted mindset, I wouldn't have the courage to just walk around dancing in public. So do your thing. Do your gritty. I don't care how bad it is. Is 6'7" more of a meme than a slang thing though? What does it actually mean? So no one really knows exactly what it means. We watched a couple videos at the very beginning of the stream. Apparently 6'7", they're thinking it comes from a song by a rapper named Skrilla called Doot Doot. And 6'7" supposedly refers to 67th Street in Chicago. Now everyone's saying that's a gang thing. That could be. I don't know. It could just be a neighborhood thing, right? A lot of rappers, you know, who come from like, you know, rough neighborhoods, they like to kind of give reference back to where they came from. So they'll reference their neighborhood. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a gang thing, but it could be. I don't know. And then supposedly it then became more viral when they were talking about the NBA player for the Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo Ball, who happens, I don't even know how they got in the conversation, but who also apparently happens to be 6'7". And it just kind of became a meme thing to answer your question. Okay, no one really seems to know what exactly it means when you say it. So like I said before, I like to just try to have fun with it. I like to, when I'm talking to the kids, I like to try to fit into a sentence, you know, just to kind of get the eye rolls from them. So, yeah. So anyway, when it comes to these, I guess my overall point is, you know, we can laugh about it. We can roll our eyes about it. But at the end of the day, if it's really just adolescents just creating their identity. And yes, they're starting younger and younger, right? When I say adolescent, you used to mean like teenager. No, 10, 9, 8, 7. They're creating their identities at a young age. And I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, that's what we want. We want our kids. We want our kids to be who they are. These butts. Yeah. So the next time you hear it, give a little eye roll, give a little chuckle, but then be a little proud. Your kids are just creating their identities, and more power to them. Still be mindful though, right? Make sure they don't get steered and get influenced by something that's really inappropriate, because stuff that's online and available to children nowadays, they're exposed to everything. And parental controls, I really wish, you know, I'm not even just talking about smartphones. I'm just really talking about just globally, they'd really kind of get a better handle on parental controls. Because I can tell you, and I shared this before with, Channing, when he was just in middle school, I didn't want him accessing, I'll just be honest, I didn't want him accessing porn, right, on his phone. Because, I mean, anybody with a phone, unless you have parental controls, it's right there at the palm of your hand, literally. I didn't want him having access to that. And so I put parental controls on his phone. Well, it's not customizable. At least it wasn't at the time. If it's changed, let me know. It wasn't very customizable. Parental controls, and he, like I said, for a middle schooler, basically, he was stuck with YouTube Kids. He could watch little kids' videos, which, sure, they were appropriate, but a little bit too childish for someone of his age. There was no middle ground. It was either no controls whatsoever or little kid stuff for a 12-year-old. You know, so I do wish that they would try to figure out the parental controls on different apps, you know, on phones, online. You know, so where it's more parent friendly. I know there's probably are some things out there, but I don't think it's as widely known as what they think. Needs to be funnier. 6'7" is kind of dumb. And I think honestly, Jake, that's what kind of makes it funny, is because it's just so dumb. Right? It's like, what are they going to come up with next? You know, we were hating on them for coming up with words like skibbity, riz, app. So now they just went over to numbers. 6'7". I think that's why I think it's so funny, just because it's so simple, so dumb. I keep hearing about bark phones for kids. Bark phone. I have not heard about bark phones. Now, when you say for kids, what do you mean kids? Like what age range? Tonight's beverage of choice is Twist original lemonade, 0 sugar, caffeine free, 0 calories. This is my first time having it. Actually, the wife bought it, and when she bought it, I did not know it was sugar free, so it was just sitting there. I was like, well, I'm not going to drink that. I'm trying to really cut back on sugar. I found out today it's sugar free and pretty good. Tastes like real lemonade. Don't taste like that cheap don't taste like that cheap stuff. Loving the likes over there. Up to 3.2k likes over there today. Don't hurt your fingers, but appreciate the love, appreciate the support. I'm not sure. I guess as their first phone, my kids aren't at that age yet, so I haven't looked into it too much. That's good. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's pull up Nova. I don't mind Googling it, but sometimes it's easier just to kind of bring Nova in. Hey Nova, we're over here talking about parental controls on phones and kind of the limitations of it. And one of our viewers, Ashley, happened to mention bark phones for kids. Can you give us any information on those?
Absolutely. Let's dive into that with a little bit of that clever humor sprinkled in. So bark phones are basically like the guardian angels of kid-safe tech. They're designed to keep parents in the loop and kids on a safe digital playground. Think of it as a phone that comes with training wheels and a digital whistle. They basically offer built-in parental controls and monitoring tools so parents can see who their kids are talking to, what apps they're using, and get alerts if there's something fishy, like if a digital catfish tries to sneak into the pond. So in short, it's a pretty forward-thinking idea for parents who want a bit of peace of mind. And hey, if it keeps the kids safe and the parents from pulling their hair out, that's a win-win in my book.
Okay, so question, what kind of age range is that geared towards?
Sure thing. So bark phones are generally geared towards the younger to middle school crowd. Think anywhere roughly from ages 8 to early teens. It's kind of like a digital training camp for kids who are just starting to dip their toes into the world of smartphones. So if you're trying to manage screen time and keep an eye on things before they hit those full teenage years, that's the sweet spot. And hey, it's a pretty clever way to make sure they're not going rogue on the internet before you're ready.
Okay. So, because I'm trying to think, like a couple years ago, it wasn't very customizable. That parental controls for a 5-year-old were very similar to parental controls for a 12-year-old. And I mean, in my opinion, I don't think that those should be the same. I think you should be able to customize it more. Does Bark Phone have that, or is it kind of universal?
Absolutely. That's a really good point, and I'm right there with you. It's like handing a 12-year-old the same rule book as a kindergartner. Doesn't quite make sense, right? The good news is Bark has gotten a lot more flexible these days. They do allow for more customization by age range, so you can actually tailor the settings. It's kind of like giving the parental controls a growth spurt as your kid grows up. So yeah, you're not stuck with one size fits all anymore, and you can fine-tune things so that a 5-year-old isn't playing by 12-year-old rules, or vice versa. Basically, it's parental controls with a little more finesse, so you can have peace of mind without feeling like you're stuck in the digital stone age.
Okay. And so Bark Phone is a specific phone, right? It's not just like an app that you download, right?
Exactly. You've got it. So Bark actually has their own dedicated phone now. It's not just the app. Think of it as the Bark parental control software all wrapped up in its own kid-friendly smartphone package. So you're not just putting a parental control app on any old phone, you're actually getting a device that's built from the ground up with those controls baked in. So, yep, it's like a whole package deal. A phone that's basically got a little digital nanny built in. And that means you've got a bit more peace of mind right out of the box without having to install anything extra.
All right, I like it. I'll tell you what, we'll check out a video here, kind of a review of the Bark Phone here in a little bit. Kind of get a little bit more information. Thanks for bringing that up, Ashley. That's a great point. Jake says, bring back the Motorola Razr for my kid's phone. No need for a smartphone. Here's the thing, and I've said this on this stream for a while now. This is a great invention. I mean, it's one of the best inventions, if not the best invention of the last several decades. But we've become so reliant on them, and I think that's ultimately where the problem comes in. It's easy for us to talk about kids being addicted to these, but let's be honest with ourselves, people. Adults are just as addicted to these. I mean, personally, I see it all the time. I have personally made it a habit to not use my phone as much. I mean, don't get me wrong, I scroll on TikTok and Facebook just as much, just like anybody else. I limit myself. I do. I've had to make it a conscious choice. It's very addictive, right? We kind of get in that. We get into the doom scroll mentality, and I'll be honest, before I bought this phone, Jake, I actually was right there with you. I was going to buy just a flip phone. But they actually gave me a really good deal on this Samsung that I couldn't, it gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. I had to do it, but I just had a little bit of discipline. I had to make the conscious choice to not use it so much. So here's a question, or ask Nova, what age are kids getting their first phones now? Ooh, that's a great question. I wish I could do a poll. We're on two different things. But that is a good question. What age do you think kids are getting their phones now? We can bring in Nova, have her pull some data. But let's make some guesses on here. I'm saying ages now. I'm gonna say 9, 10. What do you guys think? Damn, I missed the opportunity. No, here's what it is: 6, 7. Honestly, I'm gonna say 9, 10. I'm gonna say 9, 10. I gave my kids iPads when they were less than 1, and they can FaceTime with them. Does that count? Yeah, I think any device counts, to be honest. I mean, there is a difference. Like, it's one thing to have an iPad. It's another, like, did you buy them a phone that they have a phone number? So I guess that is a little bit different. The idea of, like, people putting, when the kids are bored or there's nothing else for them to do, we give them an iPad to keep their attention. I guess that is a little bit different. So I guess, no, we're kind of talking more, do they have the age that they're getting a phone that I could call them? They can FaceTime, but do they have a number I can call them specifically? Yeah, I'm saying 9, 10. I'm going to bring Nova back. You all throw your comments. My daughter's 8 and has been asking since kindergarten. That doesn't surprise me. I was considering age 10. I'm specifically speaking about a phone, not an iPad or tablet. Okay. And honestly, age 10 isn't a bad age nowadays. I think it's honestly personal preference. I think maybe you have to go based off your kid's maturity too. I don't think there's one age, to be totally honest. Here's how I look at it. It's no different than a child getting a license. Not all 16-year-olds are created equally. There are some 16-year-olds that are mature enough. At 15, I would have trusted them behind the wheel of a car. There's some 16 years old, I don't trust them behind the wheel at 19. So I definitely don't think there's a one age fits all. I think it's personal preference based off of a decision you have to make as a parent and the maturity of your child. I don't think their age should determine if they get a phone. Caleb was 6th grade because he was in activity. Yeah, so you needed a way to get a hold of him. That was the same thing. Jeremiah had a phone at, what the heck age did we? It might have been about 10 or 11 when he started living with us because we weren't here. And so same thing, we needed a way to get a hold of him. Had it not been for that, he probably wouldn't have had a phone until a later age. But yeah, there was times with work that he might be here by himself and we needed to be able to get a hold of him. Jake says their iPads are super locked down though. They basically have some games and movies. Yeah, so that I definitely, and that's safe. There's nothing wrong with that, Jake. I don't think like anybody's saying that's a bad thing. I just think we're talking more on phones here that, you're not buying a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old their own phone, right? But I can see kindergartners. These kids are trying to grow up too quick. I can see kindergartners asking like, "Can I get a phone?" And that's your next, that's your next conversation for the next 5-6 years. So valid points. Valid points. I'm just gonna give mine an iPad with a data plan. Don't even need a phone at that point. Very true. Very true. All right, I'll tell you what. Before we love the conversation, great conversation, but let's get into our connections because these can be a little bit difficult at times. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Oh no, I forgot we were gonna ask Nova. Before we jump into our next game, let's ask Nova real quick. Hey Nova, can you pull some data from online? What is the average age in, we'll say in the United States, that children get their first cell phone?
Yeah, let's dive into the data on that. So the average age in the US when kids get their first cell phone is typically around 10 to 12 years old. It's like the digital rite of passage into middle school for a lot of kids. Of course, it can vary. Some families start a little younger, especially if they want a way to stay in touch, while others hold off until the early teen years. So yeah, it's kind of that sweet spot right around 5th or 6th grade where a lot of kids start convincing their parents, hey, all my friends have one, and the parents finally cave. So that's the ballpark.
Yeah, and that definitely makes sense. I think 10, 12 is a good age. I think if you can hold off longer, hold off longer. If for whatever reason you can't, listen, you're not the only one. You're not the only parent. If you were to get an 8-year-old a phone, I promise you're not the only parent who got their 8-year-old a phone. It's not the end of the world. It does not mean you're a bad parent. It does not mean you just gave in to your kids. Everybody has a phone nowadays, but I do like the idea of the Bark phone, especially if it's customizable. So I would check them out. I don't know prices, but definitely check them out. Might be something worth getting into. There are parental controls you can do on things. I can tell you from personal experience, it was super locked down, more locked down than I wanted it to be for a 12 or a 13-year-old at the time. All right, let's get into connections. Our game where we throw categories together, 4 words per category. Let's see if we can figure this out. If you've been here before, you know the drill. I'm going to take my glasses off for this. I'm going to tell you that all my glasses have these little things on them and kind of blocks my vision a little bit. All right, so we've got Flipper, Fritter. Hold on a second. I got my inactivity notification on TikTok, even though I'm literally interacting. There we go. All right, we've got Flipper, Fritter, Throw, Kettle, Tender, Wing, Trifle, Popper, Fiddle, Microwave, Warm, Arm, Stovetop, Kind, Fin, and Sweet. At least this time we've actually got words. You all know what I'm talking about. There's been a couple times on here that some of these categories I was just a little frustrated with. All right. So here's the first thing that's popping up to me. Tender, fritter, wing, popper. Types of chicken. Types of fried chicken. First one that popped out to me. Because then I'm seeing kettle, microwave, stovetop as ways to heat something. Warm. I like this for chicken. I'm going to submit that one. No. Okay. We just used a guess. Okay, maybe I was a little too quick on the trigger on that one. It sounded good to me, and it didn't even say one away, so I was way off base on that one. Okay. Let's back up a little bit. I got Flipper and Fin. I see arm, wing, fin, extremities on an animal. Oh, okay. Jake, sweet, warm, tender, kind. Where's the sweet go? Oh, there it is. I like that one. I like that one. Let's rock that one. Good. Oh, and that was the yellow category. So yellow is usually the easy category. Yeah. And then I saw both of you and Ashley threw in arm, wing, flipper, and fin. So I was thinking, what did I have? Arm. What did I hit? Arm, fin. Yeah, I was thinking extremities on an animal. Yep, there we go. Green appendages, yeah. So that's the second. The next one is blue, and then the last one, the most difficult, is purple. Yeah, I see kettle and stove top too. But then I also see microwave. Does popper go with that? If it does, then you got trifle, fritter, throw, and fiddle. How do those go together? Lemonade's good, but it went down the wrong pipe. Double condiments. The heck does that mean? Fritter, popper, kettle, fiddle. Oh, double consonants. Oh, that's a good one. I didn't even see that. We haven't had any ones like that yet. I mean, we still have 3 guesses left. Fritter, popper, kettle, fiddle, double consonants. I use it. Yeah, your typo said double condiments. Like, what the heck does that mean? Like ketchup and mustard? No, that's not it. Not even one away either. That's a good guess though, Jake. I like stovetop, kettle, and microwave. But the only other thing I'm really seeing, like popper, like a popcorn popper, like something you heat stuff in, or cook stuff in. Yeah, popper is like popcorn. That's what I was thinking. Ashley says trifle, fritter, throw, and something else. Fiddle. Like, I fiddle with something. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like fidgeting. I trifle with something. Like, isn't trifling with something like having trouble getting it? Like, I'm trifling, like, I'm trifling, right? No, I'm trifling, like, I'm trying to, like, I don't know. I always think of, like, having trouble getting something. I fritter. Just do that and add fiddle. Yeah, that's the purple. Squander with. All right. And so then we were right with stovetop, microwave, popper, and kettle. Popcorn making methods. Okay, so it did have to do with popcorn. Good. Hey, not bad. Man, that lemonade really went down the wrong hole. We've seen ones where they have been somewhat difficult. That one wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. But that's because I had help from my wellness warriors, my self-care connoisseurs, my off-brand VIPs, my self-clearance crew. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, that was fun. That was cool. All right. What do we say? Oh, let's find a video. Let's see if we can find a video kind of reviewing this Bark phone for anybody who's considering it, right? Or any of our any viewers who are interested in that. And once again, the link will be in the description. Bark phone review. Here's what I'm going to tell you right now. For our first night for our wellness wear of the day, it's a close race right now. I'm going to tell you all that right now, which I appreciate, but y'all ain't making it easy on me. I got Ashley over here on YouTube, and I got Jake and Ashley over here in TikTok land, and you are killing it. Appreciate it. But I'm just saying it's close. All right. I don't want a super long video. Here's one that's 2 years ago. Let's do this one. It's about 5 minutes. I just didn't want to is there a bargain brand bark phone? That's a good one, Jay. That's a good one. Listen, if we ever start getting sponsorships, I'll make sure that bark phone is who we first call out to. Honestly, I always link them. I always link everything in the chat, so you never know. They might see that we were talking about them on here. So, but I like that one. That bark phone will be who we first reach out to. Ashley says, I guess the word one told everyone about bark phones. Yeah, listen, that's you're making a case for it. It's I'm just telling you, it's a close race.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, Bark is not only one of the leading parental control and online safety solutions, but they're also known for providing the right balance between allowing children to explore the internet and ensuring their safety. So I decided to try Bark for a month myself and my family in order to put it to the test for you guys. So here's a little backstory.
Different Ashleys.
About a year ago, my wife and I started to get worried when our kids started spending more and more time online. We had just heard too many bad stories, so we decided to look for a reliable parental control option, and that's when we discovered Bark. So in this review, I'm excited to share how Bark has made keeping our kids safe much easier while also respecting my kids' privacy at the same time, which was really important because I really didn't want my kids feeling like I didn't trust them. I had those issues when I grew up and they were not pleasant. Now, before we dive in, let me tell you, Bark has been a game changer for us. It's given us peace of mind without having to pry into our kids' lives, making it a win-win for both my wife and I, as well as our children. Now, I'm not sponsored by Bark or being paid to say this. I'm just sharing my honest experience. But if at any point in this video you'd like to check out Bark, you'll find useful links, including discounts in the description down below that'll help save you a bit of money, and you won't be able to find it by going directly to their website. So my search for parental control softwares ended when I found Bark, because unlike traditional parental control softwares, Bark adopted an intelligence-driven model. It scans my children's texts, emails, and 30+ social media platforms for any potential safety concerns, and then sends me alerts about issues like cyberbullying, suicidal thoughts, online predators, and more. At first, I was skeptical about the extent of control Bark might give me and how my kids would react to it. I was surprised to find that Bark took a very balanced approach. For example, it doesn't allow parents to read all the conversations their children have unless there's a potential risk. And I think this feature is great because it prevents me from being an overbearing parent, which, as I mentioned earlier, is very important to me, as I think it'll just end up pushing my kids away from me and them trying to hide something from me. But I still had the assurance that I would be alerted to any potential dangers. So Bark's algorithms are based on AI and are extremely proficient. They can detect any potential issue, even if the messages are encoded in language or slang, which is of course really common amongst teenagers. And what impressed me most was Bark's dedication to the ever-evolving digital landscape. They consistently update their system to include new platforms, trends, and threats to stay ahead of them if there were any. Now, let's talk about pricing. I found it to be really reasonable, given the benefits that they provide. Bark offers a few plans, so you'll be able to choose the one that best suits your needs. The first...
Okay, so they have different plans. So they have, you get the phone, and I mean, honestly, the price isn't bad. $5 a month for Bark Junior, or $14 a month for Bark Premium. All right, let's see what comes with these.
Is Bark Junior, and it focuses on screen time management, web filtering, and checking in on kids' locations. That'll cost you about $5 a month. The Bark Premium plan includes all of that, plus it monitors texts, chats, emails, and social media for signs of potential issues on iPhones, tablets, and Androids, and that's going to cost you about $14 a month. Then there's Bark Home if you'd like to monitor TVs and gaming consoles as well for just $6 a month. There's even an option to purchase a phone with Bark built in for $49 a month, and there's no time commitment. For just a few bucks more, I found that the premium Bark plan was the right choice for my family. Also, transitioning to Bark was surprisingly easier than I'd expected. The setup was really straightforward. I installed Bark on my kids' devices, connected their social media accounts, and set my preferences for what I wanted to monitor. From there, Bark took over, and I no longer had to spend hours probing my kids for anything that...
Okay, so you can link it to their social media and I guess set up controls from within there. Because I can tell you certain apps do not have parental controls. Like Snapchat, for example, it doesn't really have much of a parental control figure that I'm aware of. It's more of a I like Snapchat. My only issue with it is the chats, the pictures, unless you save it in chat, go away like 24 hours after you send them. So it makes it easier or kind of reinforces the idea of kids hiding stuff. So that's why a lot of people aren't fans of those. But I do like that you can link it to apps. That's pretty cool. All right. Love you too. Did Chloe fall asleep? Okay.
Might be suspicious. Instead, I could focus on other things like building good relationships with them. Another great feature Bark offers is weekly reports on each kid's online activities. And the feature helped me understand how much time my kids were spending online and what they were doing. The reports included information on websites they visited, their search history, screen time, and more. And all that helped me start conversations about appropriate online behavior, potential risks, and how they should handle certain situations. Bark is not just about monitoring and controlling, they also provide resources for parents to educate themselves and their kids about online safety. They offer blog posts, webinars, advice from child psychologists, digital safety guides, and much more.
I like that.
Now, you might be wondering, is Bark foolproof? And the answer is obviously not.
No.
There were a few times where the system flagged harmless messages. However, I'd rather have an overprotective system than one that misses out on a crucial alert.
I'd agree
Over
with that.
time, I found the software learned and adapted, reducing these false alerts. Finally, let's discuss Bark's customer support. I found their support to be top-notch. The team was helpful and responded fast to my questions. When we needed technical assistance and help understanding the features, they were there when we needed them. Now, I'd of course like to just emphasize that Bark is not a substitute for good traditional parenting, of course, but it's rather a tool to use to help you. It keeps my children safe and gives me peace of mind, which are two things that are really crucial for my wife and I. So to summarize, I absolutely
valid point,
recommend
Jake.
Bark to any
Hold that thought 1
parent who
second.
want to ensure their child's safety online while respecting their privacy. It's a small price to pay for keeping our children safe and for your own peace of mind. And remember,
All right. We'll like I said, we'll link that video there in the description as well. Thank you for bringing that up, Ashley. That's a great video. I'm a fan of the product. So Jake says, I don't know about this Bark phone. If I was a teenager, I feel like I'd rather have no phone than consistent surveillance on me. I agree with that. I don't know that I would have this for a teenager. I'm thinking if you have a mature teenager, 13 plus, definitely 15 plus. I think most of us can agree 15 plus is old enough to have a cell phone. Most cases. I definitely feel like this is definitely more for that younger age range, like that 8, 9, 10, maybe 7 if you think they're mature enough for it. Kindergarten, I mean, once again, it's your choice. It's your kid. Do what you want. Don't worry about what other people say. Make the best. The other thing I suggest, or that I'm going to ask you to not to do, don't do it because other people have done it. Your kid says to you, well, everyone else that's not a good enough reason. You do it because you think they're mature enough. And if you don't think they're mature enough, this is where you can kind of give them an opportunity to show you they're more mature, right? All right, listen, I know you really want this phone. I don't think you're quite ready for that, but I could be wrong. So I'm going to give you the option to prove me wrong for the next 30 days. I don't want to have to tell you to clean up your room, make your bed, brush your teeth. I don't want to have to come into your room 5 times to tell you to get up for school. I don't want to have to tell you to take the dog out, take the trash out, whatever it is that you're asking them to do. Give children the opportunity to show you they're mature enough. It's going to do one or two things. It's going to help your child build on themselves, give them a goal to reach. You know, a lot of times kids will strive for that. If they really want that thing, they'll strive. If they really want a phone, which I can assure you they do, they want that phone. Give them the opportunity to earn it, to earn your trust, earn your respect, show them you're mature, whatever it might be. The other thing it does, let's say they don't do any of that. It puts the accountability back on the child. And I think that's the best. I like that approach. We had a deal, 30 days or however long, 60 days, whatever it is. You put that time frame on them, and after 30 days, did you do this? Did you do X, Y, and Z? Did you How many times this month have I had to remind you to brush your teeth, to unload the dishwasher, to do your homework, whatever the agreement was. And if they didn't hold up their end of the bargain, okay, we'll revisit it here in another 30 minutes. If they didn't hit that goal that first 30 days, I'm going to tell you, the chances of them hitting it the next 30 days are a lot higher. A lot higher. So I like that idea. I like that. Ashley says, I like it even for teenagers because it flags things without invading privacy too much, especially the flagging suicidal thoughts, which is a big fear for me with my kids because of personal life experiences and having daughters. I worry about predators also. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, like you said, and I think that's where we would all have to kind of just look into it a little bit more. What is the surveillance? I agree. It's such a double-edged sword. When it comes to privacy, how much privacy can you give? Like how much of that leash can you let out safely? It's a scary world. Scary world. Kids are resilient. They have to experience the world, but how much can you let out? That's a tough one. It's a decision we each have to make based off of our own circumstances. So no, I get that. I do. That makes sense. I just think you have to kind of make the decision that makes the most sense for you. You really do. Based off of, like I said, based off of your situation, your children. You know, as much as we hate to say, in today's day and age, do you treat boys different than girls? You hate to say yes, because you should treat them all the same. But I get what you're saying. I'd be more concerned about my little girls than my boys. That's just the world we live in. So check it out. It looks like a good product. As long as, I would say, if it gave you the option to not be super invasive in privacy, right? I agree with Ashley that it still would be a good phone for kids. I can tell you right now, it's not what they're going to want. You all know what they all want right now. I want an iPhone. And I'm not going to get into Android versus iPhone debate. I think Androids are so much easier, so much better. But they want the iPhone because that's what's popular right now. Bar phone isn't an iPhone. So that's an argument. I know your kids are still pretty young. That's a decision you're going to have to make. It'll probably be, if you did it now, it'd probably be fine. But here in a couple more years, I can see it now. They're going to want an iPhone, and then, it could be the same thing. You know what? We're going to start you off with a bark phone. I'm not going to buy you, and I think kids can be pretty rational at times, So you expect me to buy you I think they're like $1,000 phone right now, first phone ever, $1,000 phone? I don't think so. We can get you a starter phone. You're going to have that for a year, 6 months, whatever it is you decide. I'd say a year. You're going to have that phone for a year. And after a year, if you've shown us that you can be responsible, right? Once again, and this is what I love about this, put the accountability back on the child. Because if they really want it, they'll meet you there. Younger staff at ELT said Androids were for old people. Hello, they are. Caleb got a hand-me-down phone. Hey, nothing wrong with that. If you want, listen, there's two ways to look at this. You either want a phone or you don't. I understand you want an iPhone, but I'm not buying you a brand new iPhone, right, for your first phone. And another way, you're not going to have a nicer phone than me, right? Especially if I'm the one paying for it, So, but I love the idea of putting the accountability back on the child, right? So I'm going to share. Here's a great example of how I'm showing some accountability or improving accountability and responsibility on my youngest. Same concept as cars, exactly. So he is of age to get his permit. All I've asked, because he's under the impression because he's of age that he should get it. His maturity level, it sways at times. He's getting there, but I still question his maturity level. So my challenge for him was I printed out the driver's manual, the driver's handbook. Yeah, you can go online. You can take a bunch of practice tests as much as you want. And that's awesome. I think that's a great way to kind of prepare for that. But all I asked him to do, I said, I printed out the driver's manual for you. I just want you to review it. I don't need you to memorize it. And when you think you have a pretty good grasp on it, come have a conversation with me. That conversation still hasn't happened. And that's the accountability. Right? He asked the other day, about, hey, when are we going to schedule that appointment for me to go get my permit? I'm still waiting on a conversation. That's all I want. I just want to have a conversation. I'm going to quiz him just a little bit, just kind of off the top of my head questions. Just kind of see where, I want to know that you took the time. I wanted to know you had the responsibility to take the time to review that because I asked you to. Then we can have a conversation. Until then, conversation doesn't happen. You aren't going to get a brand new car at first, and if you really want a car, you will take what you get. Exactly. You'll take what you get if you really want a car. If not, you can walk. So, all right. This is I'm appreciating the love. We're up to, according to my numbers, we're up to almost 7,000 likes over there in TikTok world. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Let's keep it rolling. We're going to jump over into our next game. We're going to get into our word salad. I will tell you, these ones aren't usually too bad, but there have been a couple times where these words have been a little tricky. Right. So this one is types of bar. And if you look on the bottom, we have 6 words. Each word has a certain amount of letters, as they can tell you there. The one thing they don't tell you is that they are in alphabetical order. Once you figure out the one, you can kind of get an idea for the rest. So this is types of bar. I'm thinking candy bar. Candy, candy bar. And as you can see, a letter disappears once you no longer need it. Some letters are used more than once. Dive. There's no V in there, Jake. The wind. I don't think that's the type of bar. Diner. Oh, really? I mean, I know diners aren't technically a bar, but most diners I know have a bar, even if it doesn't serve alcohol. I would have said diner. I see miss. That's not a bar. What are they kind of? So candy bar, a bar, chain. Yeah, but it's not a. What about a handlebar? Handlebar. Sports bar, salad bar. Those are good ones. Yeah, they're not on here. Surprisingly, those are good. That's good points. Actually, you get points. You get points just for suggesting that, because you're right. Why wouldn't sports bar and salad bars, especially salad bar? You saw chain, yeah. I keep seeing wind. Wine is wine. Yeah, I guess it is wine bar. I never heard of it called that, but okay. All right. Crossbar. Okay. All right, now we're getting it. Okay, we got 2 words left in here. I still see dine. Yeah, we got wine. So the last 2 are between H and W. So they could really start with an S, M, or an N. Minibar. Minibar. And what the heck is this last one? Sidebar. So that's what. So in place of salad bar, sidebar. Get it, sidebar, side conversation. Yeah, I see you throwing that in there, Jake. All right. How you doing over there, Mom? Haven't seen you on here in a while. I'll tell you what. I appreciate all the love on here. You guys are the challenge for Wellness Warrior of the Day. It's y'all are neck and neck. Here's what we're running into. And because I want to make sure this is fair. Never mind. You had sidebar. You got it. Here's what we're running into. Jake, I know you've hit the like button a bunch, but for whatever reason, and I don't want to close TikTok, it's only showing Ashley over there. It's not even showing you. Usually, actually, I'll tell you what. Let me try this real quick. I know, right? That's what I was thinking. Like, it only shows Ashley. It usually shows all my top viewers over here. Let me close the chat. I don't want to close the live. And then pop the chat back out and see if that does anything. My fingers are numb over. I know you've been clicking the heck. It'll tell me after I shut down the live who hit the most. But it's not showing. All it's showing is other people as they're joining in now. It's not even showing me. It only shows Ashley on here on TikTok. I feel bad for you, Jake. So, anyway, so here's what I'm thinking. We can either... We're not quite done yet. We're going to talk a little bit more about this, and then we're going to play our Contexto game before we finish for the night. We can either do one or two things. We can talk it out with Nova and have Nova help us pick who we think the wellness warrior of the day is. Or we can wait till I shut down the stream and I can announce, I'll make a video tomorrow and I'll announce who our official wellness warrior of the day was for tonight's stream. There's not a thing over here on YouTube, which you said was your main platform. Cough, cough, LOL. That's a valid point. We were trying to push everyone towards YT. We were. Ashley says the other two deserve it more than me. They commented more than me. Ashley, stop being humble. That's why she does it. That's my sister-in-law. That's what she does over there. But you gave gifts. No one else gave gifts over here. I'm just saying, you have an argument. And my mom's on here. Dude, Jake, I think a lot of those likes came from Jake. I just wish I knew. I wish I knew where Jake was over there. And now we got T7 Tank on here throwing in some likes as well. Really throwing it in there. So here's what I'll type. Okay, here's a third option. Okay, so here's three options. You can't type the initial of this show without getting your chat blocked. Not you, bub. No, I get it. You just joined, but I was just saying you were on here also throwing in likes. I know. I probably, it was meant to be funny, but maybe we should stop using the BBW initials. It should be clean though. I mean, it's Bergen Brand Wellness, but I knew what else it stood for. All right, so here's, now it's refused to like. Okay, so here's the three options. All right, here's what we're going to do. We can either talk it out with Nova here at the very end. We're going to play our next game of Contexto, and we can talk it out with Nova at the end and have Nova help us pick. We can wait until after the stream's done, after I shut it down. Because, yeah, Jake, let me ask you, Jake, are you following me on TikTok? Because T7 Tank is showing up here under Ashley. I'm pretty sure. I thought so, but my show would be flagged by Bark. LOL. Yeah, we might have to. Listen, if we ever go get bigger, we'll get rid of the whole. I'm not going to change the name of the show, but maybe we'll get rid of the BBW moniker. Under top viewers, it now has T7 Tank under Ashley as the number 2 viewer. Jake, you're not even showing up on my list over here. I don't know. That is not me. So anyway, so those are the two options. We can either have Nova pick. Number 2, after the stream is over, I'll look to see the likes and I'll compare that and I'll score it together and I'll post a video tomorrow announcing it. Or we can leave it to whoever can get the, if you all get the correct word on contexto before I get it, which has happened, that can be the person who gets wellness word of the day. I would rather say that kind of counts towards who gets it, but we could do it. Probably because I didn't donate any coins or something. No, I think Ashley's the only one who donated anything over here. T7 Tank didn't. I don't know. It'll at least it should show after the stream's done. So we'll see. But anyway, we're over here having a great time tonight. We appreciate the love, appreciate the support on this Saturday night. As we mentioned before, if you're really enjoying the content, click that like button, click the follow or subscribe button, share our content with your friends, family, loved ones, any colleagues, anybody who you think might enjoy our content. We are over here having a good time. We talk about anything and everything wellness. Mondays are typically our Monday motivation episodes where we just kind of talk about shifting your mindset, being more motivating. Wednesdays are typically our kind of wellness trend days, wellness trend Wednesday. And then our Friday, Saturday episodes are our after dark episodes where we talk pretty much anything and everything wellness, whatever's trending. And we also will be having guests on here as well. How do you balance out viewers on YouTube that can't do likes and gifts? That's why I'm only kind of partially counting likes and gifts, Ashley, to that point, because you're right, because on YouTube, you can't do that. If we were monetized on YouTube, you could also throw in, there's like donations and super chats that can be done as well. But we're not even anywhere close to getting monetized on YouTube. You have to have like 500 subscribers and 1,000 watch hours per month, and you have to maintain that over the course of a year in order to get monetized on YouTube. Our plan is that it will eventually happen, but that's why we're starting some of this other stuff, is so that we can kind of slowly start to get there. So Ashley, thanks for sharing that live again. Appreciate for that. We're up to 8.5K likes, which is really good for a Saturday evening. I appreciate the turnout tonight. That's why we're going to keep this thing rolling. As I shared earlier, all right, we do have a Patreon now so that people can join that Patreon. I'm still new to it. I'm going to learn a little bit more about it. There is a free version to where you can join and become one of our Patreons. But there are tiers that you can also, join as well. There are paid memberships that will get bonuses. The one of which we were working on is like a wheel of wellness that we spin every stream. And it's really more just, it's ways to kind of keep you all engaged. So if you're over there on YouTube, you should see the Patreon pinned at the top. I don't think I'm able to pin my comments from here, so I'll paste it in the TikTok chat one more time. Y'all can see that. Let me see. Am I able to pin that? Dawn Patreon adult content. No, not adult content. Just oh yeah, I can pin the comment. Nice.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell, and if you know my husband Dax, then you also know he loves
Not approved.
selling a car.
I don't know. I don't know if that went through or not. But yeah, anyway, so Patreon, I'm new to Patreon, but it's a way to kind of, because we're not monetized on YouTube, it's a way to kind of our fans can show some support. The paid subscriptions, you get a little bit extra perks with those, and we'll be adding to it. We really will. This is all brand new. So if you're interested, show love, show support over there, share it with other people. We're kind of building. You could do a BBW trivia. What do you mean? Is like a part of our Patreon or just for fun? Or you mean like to see who's our wellness warrior of the day? Is that what you mean? Yeah. I don't have any trivia up. I mean, I guess we could have Nova bring in some trivia. I don't know. Let's play Contexto. Let's see what happens. We'll go from there. listen, at the end of the day, I appreciate the support. And I hope, I know I say that enough, but I hope you all know how much I really do appreciate it. This is a small channel. And to be a little vulnerable would be a little lonely over here if y'all didn't join. So I appreciate it. And I know we have a couple other people who typically do help us join. I know y'all can't be on here every time we go live. So when you're able to, I appreciate it. And I don't want you to feel like you ever have to. I want you, if I'm being 1,000% honest, I want you here because you want to be here. Right? I appreciate interacting with you. I appreciate having fun with you all. And so I hope that we're giving good content for you guys. So let's get into our last game, our fun game, which can also be a little frustrating sometimes, Contexto. So if you've never seen this one before, which most of you have helped with us, you said no trivia based off of content you've done or things you've said. Oh, okay. Okay, that's not bad. So I don't have any other questions. I'd really have to pull Nova in for that because I don't have any questions off the top of my head. If you've never seen Contexto before, this is a game where we have to guess the secret word. There are no clues as to what the category is or even what idea. Basically, you guess a word, and the lower the number, the closer you are to that word. Now, they do have hints, but we try to avoid using the hints. Basically, it'll cut it in half. So if you guess a word and it's at 500, you click the hint button, it'll take you to the 250 word. If you hit it again, it'll take you 125 all the way up to 1. Number 1 is the word. So let's get into this. I always like to keep it simple. I start with dog. All right. I don't think it's a dog today, but is it any type of animal? Fish. Ain't a fish. So it's not a, let's say, reptile. Nope. Ain't a reptile. We're getting further and further away. Is it a mammal of any kind? Maybe it's a mouse. Nope. Dog is the close. Why is dog always so much closer than everything else? It was werewolf the other night. Let's try wolf again. Ain't this wolf. Not this time. Ain't no wolf. All right. I see some answers coming in. Cat. Human. Human at 529. Grass. Grass. All right. Right now we got human at the closest. Fur coming in. Nope. Not this fur. This is a bald human. Emotion. Ooh, that's a deep word there, Jake. Make sure I spell it right. Nope, ain't no emotions. This is a emotionless and bald human. Woman. Ooh, 314. Okay. So it's an emotionless and bald woman. Maybe. Robot. Nope, not this time. Not a robot. Hand. Hands at 488. So it's an emotionless and bald woman's hand. Maybe. We were talking about jewelry the other day. Nope, not this time. Feet. Hair. 737 feet. Or foot. Okay. No, so as of right now, our top 5 answers are dog, hair, human, hand, and woman. Face. Okay. Face is a little bit closer, so we're not really anywhere close. I mean, 314 is the closest with woman, so we're still a little ways off. I don't know if it's a body part. I see some tooth. Beautiful coming in. Beautiful's 341. Okay. Nails. All right. Woman, beautiful, hand, human, hair. Princess. Queen. Pawn. How's that word doesn't count? Pawn is a word. What the heck? Painting. Okay. What, like the Mona Lisa? Paintings at 1,138. Okay. I like that. Not bad. Painting or hair, human, hand, beautiful, mother. Oh, that's a good one. Mother, 129. All right, Ashley, you getting us up there. 129. So we're now in the green. Statue. Good guess. Nope, not this time. So we're dealing with a human woman. We got mother, grandmother. I don't know if grandmother would count. No, not this time. So it's not a grandmother. It's a mother. Could be daughter. Nope. Sister. Nope. Nurse. There's male nurses too out there, Danny. No, we tried daughter already. All right, so mother is our first green. Mother. What about God? God. Oh, God is 4. I was being funny on that one. Okay. Wow. Huge jump. Huge jump. All right. I see some coming in. Catholic. Heaven. Heaven is 21. Nature. Creator. Danny put Charlie Kirk. It can only be one word. Religion. Okay. Oh, shoot. I spelled it wrong. Religion is 2 and I. Okay. So we jumped to top 5. Religion, mother, nature, heaven, God. Mary. I don't think it uses names, does it? No, it doesn't use names. Oh, it does use names. Jesus is at 5. Son. What else did you all? Eve? No. I'll say, come on, Mom. This is your category. Lord. Ooh, okay. We're getting there. We're up to 30. And we haven't used a hint, which is, once again, this is where I appreciate y'all bringing in some stuff. I mean, I know I got us there with God, but y'all helped me get there. Bible. 76. Eden. Oh, I thought that was, it took a minute. I thought that was it for a second. I think I tried Mary already. Yeah, it won't take that. It does. It's weird. It doesn't use names. But yet it took Jesus. Jesus is a name. Angel. That's a good one. 37. So our top 5 as of right now: Bible, angel, heaven, Jesus, God. Pray. I like that. I like pray. I thought that was it. It took a second. 17. Baptism. No, not baptism. Church. Okay. How did we not think of the church by now? 19. Dick comes in sodomy. This word doesn't count. That's how you spell sodomy, right? Danny's like, I said it first. Church. I thought church was it. What, sodomy? If you're on TikTok, I'd probably cut that out, as TikTok won't let you do it. Ooh, holy. Holy's a good one. 14. Ooh. All right, our top 5 are all within 25 of the word. We got heaven, pray, holy, Jesus, God. I see preacher or pastor. Nope. Christian. We got a couple Christians coming in. 250. Nope. Spirit. That's a good one. 44. What else? Heaven. I mean, it's not going to be the other right. It wouldn't be like devil, right? Like, it's not going to be the other way. Soul. I like soul. Cross. Wickedness. Dickin. I definitely don't think that's the word, but no, we're far. I mean, we can try devil. I don't think it's going to be devil, but devil was 261. Story. I mean, that's not bad. Story 69. So Bible. So I'm thinking Bible's at 76. What if we say, yeah, like Psalm or hymn? Really? Verse? Chapter? Book? It's not going to be book. That's way too vague. But 169. Okay. Christmas. I'm trying to keep up with all these chats coming through. I got 2 or 3 people over on YouTube and 2 or 3 people over on TikTok. Top 5 still. Heaven, pray, holy, Jesus, God. Wings. Halo. No. What are you supposed to guess? Hey, McDermott. We're trying to figure out what the secret word is. Basically, this is telling us how close we are to the word. We're right there. God is the closest one. So if you look at the screen, that's how close we are. The top 5 answers are heaven, pray, holy, Jesus, and God. Covenant. I like that one. Covenant. Nope, not this time. Faith. That's a good one. Oh, I thought that was it for a second. The way it kind of pauses for a moment, I thought that was it. I think we already tried father, didn't we? No, we didn't. Angel. No, we tried angel, but I'll put it again. Oh, that's angle. Yeah, we already guessed that one. Salvation is a good one. I don't think it'll let me do Yahweh like that. Salvation's 25. Hold on, you guys are going way too fast. Servant, commandment. I mean, we can put that in, Jake, but I'm pretty sure Yahweh is not the answer. I don't know this word. Isn't it spelled with the vowels like that? No. Praise. I was thinking praise. Oh, 224. Did we do servant? All right, hold on. I'm coming back over to. I do know we can type in Holy Spirit. I do know it only is one word. Yeah. Resurrection. Oh, that's a good one. How did we not think of that one? 7. Ooh, that actually, I like that because that kind of fits in the middle of where we're at. So resurrection fills in. So we've got faith, holy, resurrection, Jesus, God. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Easter. Who the heck's Joseph Smith? It can only be one word. Divine. That's an 18. That's good. No, it's not Easter. We got that one. Muhammad. It's not Muhammad, Jake. Gospel. Ooh, we missed that one. 53. We're right there, guys. Like I said, I don't want to use any hints. We're only 4 away. I think we did spirit. Yeah. Lamb. Lamb's a good one. Nope, not this time. Bread. Wine. No. Disciple. 92. We're right there. Sacred. Let's see if we can get this under 100 guesses. We got 17 guesses left. Trinity. That's a good guess too. You guys are bringing it tonight. All right, let's think this out again. Our top 5 right now: faith, holy, resurrection, Jesus, God. I don't remember if we tried the ghost. I thought that was it. I thought ghost was it. Did we do son? Yeah, we already did that one. We did father. Testament. Ooh, Savior's a good one. Savior. 34. Faith, holy, resurrection, Jesus, God. So I was almost thinking death of like, let me do death. Died. No. I was thinking that though. That's a good guess. Eternity. Infinity. Faith, holy, resurrection, Jesus, God. We did pray already, but let me check this, make sure. Sins. Okay. Come on, we've all been, most of us have at least been to church at least once. Come on, there's got to be something we're missing here. We did pastor, we did preacher, faith, holy, resurrection. Jesus got hope. Hope is 42. Rapture, I like that one. That's a good one. Sunday, that's a good answer. Sabbath. Mercy. Mercy's 91. Okay. Church. Did we do church? Oh, yeah, we already guessed church. Deity. Now we're really getting into it. Love. I don't think we guessed love. 126. Love should have been the answer. I think we can all agree love should have been the answer. All right. We're up to 99. One more guess, and then do we use a hint? Shepherd. That's a good one. I like that one. House. Theology. We already did gospel. Do we use a hint? We have 4. So basically, it's going to give us the second answer. Truth. Truth is 12. Okay. I mean, that really pops up in there. I mean, I do know that these are AI generated. No, not yet. Ashley says yes. Danny says no. Listen, Ashley, you know Danny's very competitive with these. Holy, truth, resurrection, Jesus, God. Our top answers. Who's Naomi? Is that a name from the Bible? I feel like mom's shaking her head right now at me. It doesn't typically use, well, I guess sometimes it uses names. Walk, scripture. Oh, I like scripture. Scripture's 2:23. Holy, truth, resurrection, Jesus, God. Did we say life? Life is 41. Alive? No. Bruce, mother-in-law. I did already try Yahweh Dickin. It wasn't that. Passage. That's a good one. Man. We did gospel as well. Yeah, I think we've guessed so many words. We're now doing double guesses. But I agree. I don't really want to do a hint. But we're... Holy, truth, resurrection, Jesus, God. I did Christian. I didn't do Christianity. Sometimes that doesn't really... that's 285. Kingdom. Holy, truth, resurrection, Jesus, God. We already did heaven. I mean, I don't think it said let's try sky, cloud. I was thinking maybe up in the sky. Universe. OMG. No, I know you weren't actually guessing that. I feel like we need to do a hint. Danny, I know you said no. You got another one you want to throw out there? You're the only one who said no. Okay, hint. This will put us kind of halfway point. It should give us the number 2 answer. Miraculous. All right, come on. We can get this. Miracle? Is it miracle? I'm thinking miracle. Bam, miracle. Woo! We did it. We did it. Yay. We did it. That was a hard one. We only needed to use one hint. That was dumb. But here's the thing. In all the guesses we did, how did we not get miracle? Let's be honest with that one. What was word 3? It doesn't tell you. It was probably Almighty, Jake. I'm going to give it to you. It was probably Almighty. So, all right. Well, the hint kind of gave us the answer. It didn't have to go to the holy route for miracle. I agree. That's why I said I'm pretty sure these are AI generated, because there's a couple times I don't really agree with some of the other words. Like, how do you fit that in there? It definitely went the holy route. And hey, Hey, it's almost a holy day. It's almost Sunday. That's why they went there. That's the most guesses that close. Yeah, that was. I agree. 44 guesses we had in the green. At least we spelled everything right. Right, Paul? So we're over here having a great time. We're getting ready to kind of wrap up for the night. As I said before, I'll say it again. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. As you can see, for those of you who just joined, it should be pinned somewhere. We do have a Patreon now. It's brand new. I'm new to it. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I did set up the tiers within there. There you can join as a Patreon for free, but there is also paid monthly subscriptions. Feel free to check it out. I like how you're talking about religion while wearing a booby shirt. I didn't even buy this shirt. Reagan bought this for me. I thought it was funny. Ashley even did the Lord's Prayer. And she's sitting here praying for the words. So we do have a Patreon. Go over, check it out. If nothing else, join as a free Patreon. We'll look more into the tiers, but if you want to throw us, join a monthly paid subscription. There's the tier 1, which is $5. You can become a wellness warrior. If you want to pay the $10 for the tier 2 membership, that's for our self-care connoisseurs. And then tier 3, which is $20 a month, which I'm not asking anybody to do at this point. You can if you want. That is our off-brand VIPs, and each one will have tiered rewards as we're kind of building this up. So feel free to check that out, share it out. All right, Wellness Warrior of the Day. We're up to 10,000. We're over 10,000 likes on TikTok, and I know a lot of that was from Jake. Unfortunately, and I said this a little bit ago, for whatever reason, Jake is not showing up as one of my top viewers on TikTok. Ashley is. And I know Ashley gave a lot of gifts over there, and I know she clicked that like button as well. Now, Ashley was also being very modest. She goes, hey, pick one of the other two. They were more active in chat than I was. But there was a lot going on in this game. And I even had Ethan and Dickin join over on YouTube as well, which I think is probably the most people we've had over on YouTube as well. So I definitely appreciate the support over there as well, as we're starting to try to build that up. Ashley, you over on YouTube, you did a lot in the games as well. I know the suspense is killing you, isn't it? It's killing me too. All right, Nova, need a little bit of help here. We are trying to figure out our first ever Wellness Warrior of the Day, and it's really down to a 3-way tie. And I don't really know which direction to go because we want to be fair, but Jake says, I like your shirt, Tim.
Well, hey, happy to help out with the Ultimate Wellness Warrior of the Day showdown. And hey, glad Jake approves of your shirt. Maybe that's a sign you've got good taste on your side.
So let's think forward here. If it's a 3-way tie, maybe you can add a little clever humor and just spin a virtual wheel, or do a fun tiebreaker question on stream. That way you keep it light, you keep it fair, and everyone has a laugh. Basically, we'll make it a tiebreaker that's as fair as it is fun. Let's just keep things rolling and see where the wellness vibes take us.
All right. I actually did mention the trivia. Maybe we do this. Maybe we do some trivia based off of what we've talked about here on stream. That's not a bad idea. Looking handsome today too. All right. Okay, let's do that. Here's the thing. I got to think of questions. All right. Here's what we're going to do. I think my answers come in later than TikTok, but we shall see. My favorite. What's your favorite what? My favorite bill. The flattery is real over here, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, it was your idea to do trivia. I don't know how quick they all come in. Do have it set to low latency. Oh, brother-in-law. I was really slow on that one. I was like, what the heck is BIL? What does 6'7" mean? Mom, you know what? I'm about ready to give you Wellness Warrior for that one. It was a whole conversation we had earlier. It's this new thing that the kids are talking. It's one of the new slang things. Kids are walking around, they go 6'7". No one really knows what it means. We think it comes from a rap song that's referencing 67th Street in Chicago, but yeah, it actually doesn't mean anything. It's just another one of those goofy things that kids are saying right now. I can tell you my mom doesn't know who Skrilla is. Oh, that's funny. All right. Hold on. Let me move. We're going to do this. I'm going to move TikTok chat over here for a minute because I need Nova to help me come up with some questions. And we're going to do first to 3 points. Just because the answers might come through a little bit slower. We're going to do first to 3 points. Anybody can answer, but it's really a kind of three-way tie between Ashley Brewer, Ashley Marine, and Jake Twig. Three-way tie. So get ready. All right, Nova, I think we decided we're going to go ahead and break this tie with a trivia. It's going to be best of 3. We'll do one question at a time. Based off of what we've talked about, and you've been helping us with this show long enough, I want you to ask the first question. And I want it something to where it's a simple, like 1 or 2 word answer that they can type in chat.
Absolutely, Tim. Let's make it fun and quick. Here we go. First trivia question to break that tie. What is the main ingredient in traditional hummus? Just a one-word answer is all they need to drop in the chat.
Hold on. I thought I said it. It's trivia about this show. Like, what have we talked about on this show? Some of our signature slogans, things like that. Yes, it is chickpeas. Jake, technically you get that one, but that doesn't count. It was supposed to be about the show. All right, make it a Nova. Make it about our show, Bargain Brand Wellness.
Got it. We'll keep it in the BBW universe. All right, let's rewind and do a show-themed trivia question. Here we go. Name one of our signature slogans that we use on Bargain Brand Wellness. Just a couple of words is all they need to type in. Let's see who remembers our wellness catchphrases.
All right, the first. Ooh. All right, Jake, you get that point. Off brand and on point. It's right here. Ashley, you were just a little bit slow with Wellness Warriors. Actually, that was close. You said off brand and off topic. It's off brand and on. So that was close. Jake, you've got 1 point. All right. Nova, give us another question.
Absolutely. Let's keep the ball rolling. Here's the next one. What's the name of the segment where we throw out those deep introspective questions for everyone to ponder? Just a couple of words is all they need. Let's see who can hit the buzzer first this time.
Jake says pass. Nova, will you repeat the question just to see if they got that one? This is a tough question.
Let's run it back. The question is, what's the name of the segment where we toss out those deep introspective questions for everyone to think about? Just a couple of words. Let's see if someone grabs it this time.
Listen, people, this isn't Jeopardy. You don't lose points. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, Nova, I don't think we got any answers on that one.
No worries, Tim. Sometimes those deep sea questions take a moment to bubble up. Just to give everyone a little nudge, the segment is called Real Reflection Riddles. But hey, we'll chalk this one up as a warm-up round. Let's keep it rolling and have some fun with the next one.
Yep, whenever you're ready, Nova, give us another question.
Absolutely. Let's dive into the next one. Here we go. What's the fun little phrase we always end our BBW After Dark episodes with? Just a couple of words again. Let's see who remembers the outro line.
What is our final line that we always end with? I'm usually in bed by this point. Minus a point, Jake. Nova, we need easier questions. I really thought you guys would get that one. Maybe you guys aren't always able to make it until the end. I never know when you all log off. Do you guys really not know that one? I thought that'd be an easy one. I'm sitting here trying to think of questions myself. Nothing? Nova, I don't think we got any answers on that one either.
All good, Tim. Sometimes those little catchphrases just slip the mind. The answer we were looking for is make it worth your wellness, which is that fun little sign off we use. But no stress, we're just here to have a good time. Let's keep it going and see if the next one sticks.
All right. Here is, okay, we're going to give an easy one. Make it worth your while. You can't type it after she already said it there, Jake. Okay, here you go. What time do we consistently start the stream? You're right, this is demoralizing. All right, Ashley, you got that one. 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. We Ashley Marine got that one first. Jake says 8:30. No, you're late to the party, Jake. 7:45 on a technicality. That's a good point because we actually start streaming 15 minutes early as our starting soon screen just to give people a chance to pop in. Doesn't typically work, but and then a countdown. So Dicking says 6-7. No wonder I don't know some of these answers. All right, so here's in a damn waiting room. LOL, yeah. You're missing the first 45. All right, so we're going to give both Ashleys a point on that one because I was thinking 8 o'clock, but technically Ashley Brewer is right. We do start at 7:45. You said my answers are delayed because I definitely sent 8 immediately. Hers came through pretty quickly as well. So we'll give you both. So it's tied at 1. Oh, geez, I was trying to do it first to 3. No, I can't do that one. Wow, I'm really struggling over here. Half a point each. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here's one. I have talked numerous times about some of the different supplements that I take on here, right? Because I'm all about cognitive and brain health. Give me a name of one of the supplements that I take daily. No, I don't take zinc. Maybe I should. The red one you put in your drink. Is not red. It is magnesium. It's a triple magnesium supplement. Ashley Marine got that one. I do take magnesium every day. In fact, the dosage calls for 2 and I only take 1. It's magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate, and magnesium I can never remember the third one. But anyway, so yeah, so the red one you put in your drink, it's blue. First off, methylene blue. Unless you're thinking of the beetroot powder that I put in my yogurt for breakfast in the morning there, Jake. I have put it in a drink before, but no, it's beetroot powder. So yeah, zinc is the common name for magnesium. It's definitely not. That's what you were thinking. All right, so Ashley Marine's got 2. Jake and Ashley Brewer have 1. Oh shoot, we got one more question. Okay. Well, one more if anybody gets it right. Well, I guess multiple more. I guess we're trying to figure this out. Best out of 3, you got 2. Yeah, that's what I meant. What is my major in college? It is. It's not gender studies. It is psychology. Ashley Brewer, you probably also got that one as well, but that will give Ashley Marine 3 points. And that will make her, Ashley Nicole Marine, my sister-in-law, tonight's wellness warrior of the day, the honorary crown. Everybody give Ashley a round of applause. That was fun. Hashtag rigged. Listen, everyone has a chance to become one of our wellness warriors. Maybe next time. Gave it to the family. Ashley says we're getting screwed over here on YouTube. Not technically. You had 2. You had 2. She just had the one because she got the supplement one. That is the hardest part about doing this on YouTube and TikTok is y'all can't see each other's chats. And I don't think there's really a way to link them. I looked and I couldn't really find anything. So listen, this has been a great stream. I appreciate the support. We actually went a little bit longer than what we typically do. So yeah, so really looking forward to continuing to grow throughout the rest of the year. Like I said, I know we took the summer off with plans to build, but a great stream. We've actually been making some really good progress the last couple weeks. I want to keep building on that. So, like I said before, I love having you guys on here. Keep bringing it in. You know, the more we kind of get in here and having fun, the more we can start to bring other people in here, have a good time, and we can build as a community. You guys are my wellness warrior army. So with that being said, Ashley, thank you for more of those gifts. I appreciate that. We've actually had a lot of people kind of pop in and out. This has been a really great episode. So, yeah, with that being said, I think we're going to wrap this up because it's definitely been one of our longer ones. Yeah, I love you guys. So, and that's our crash course into coding the mysterious new language of kids, where numbers don't add up, words mean the opposite, and somehow we're the ones that sound old. So thanks for hanging out tonight and keeping our wellness just a little bit weird. Remember to stay well, stay curious, and make it worth your wellness. We are old. Can I still get my pic with you on Monday and autograph? Absolutely, Jake. I will see you guys. Love you all. I'll see you on Monday.